And on another episode of Promises Made, Promises Not Kept, Donald Trump just closed the Department of Government Efficiency. You remember DOGE, right? DOGE, the department within the government that was supposed to help us, attack waste, fraud, and abuse. The campaign promises were we were supposed to save $2 trillion every single year. They just closed it. They saved in its entire existence $216 billion. And thanks to the big, beautiful bill, we're now spending $1.9 trillion every single year. So instead of saving $2 trillion, we're pretty much spending every single year $2 trillion. So my question to you, MAGA, because unfortunately, I did vote for Donald Trump 3 times, and I had to come to the conclusion that this dude has lied through his teeth his entire presidency, and we have been duped. My question to you, outside of the border and outside of this woke stuff, what has Donald Trump done for America? What has Donald Trump done that he promised to do during his campaign? Because in my opinion, Donald Trump is going back on almost everything he said he would do for America. And this is the biggest betrayal in America history. And if you don't see it, my God.
I'm a Republican.
Well, this should be interesting.
I'm asking everybody, Republican, of course, Democrat, and independents to vote blue. We got to do something. Prices of everything has went up. And he said he was going to bring prices down. He lied. We just can't afford any more high prices.
Did you just say the word afford? Because I thought he said
affordability is a hoax.
So guys, vote blue midterms. Republicans, vote blue. Democrats, I'm sure you will. And independents, vote blue. We got to get Trump out. That's all there is to it.
August tells me she was raised a lifelong Republican and voted for President Trump in 2024.
At the time, I was in a position to where I wasn't happy with both choices, but for me, I went through the things that were being promised, the things that they have already done, and for me choosing to vote, Republican was the choice that I made, but looking back now, I do regret my decision.
The fact that Americans who voted for Donald Trump are already saying they have buyer's remorse honestly blows my mind. I just can't take these people seriously because Donald Trump was as clear as Windex on glass about what his objectives were for the United States of America. Whether it was tariffs, deportations, going against the rule of law, you name it. Tax cuts for billionaires. Donald Trump was as clear as can be that he was really not for the working class American. Sure, he gave the smoke and mirrors about groceries and gas, but let's be honest here. People are already talking about, I regret my vote. I didn't think he would do this. No, you didn't think it would affect you. You didn't think Donald Trump's actions would negatively affect your bottom dollar. You voted for him because you thought you were above whatever negative policies he enacted. And now you done effed around and found out. But I have not an ounce of sympathy for any of these people talking about their buyer's remorse when the buyer literally told you when you purchased from them what they were going to do and what the product was going to be like. It wasn't like this was some big secret. It was out in plain view.
Absolutely. This guy has just said it perfectly. They should just tell us that I voted for other people to suffer and not myself. I voted for racism and not to be poor. Well, hatred is expensive. So let's have a look. Please like and hype the video and let me know thoughts in the comments, alright? Let's get into it.
I didn't care how things were affecting others until it affected me. Am I proud of that? No. We live in a very cruel world, and sometimes the only way to survive is by being selfish. We are all just out here trying to survive as best we can. And although we may have good intentions and we may be empathetic and we may be compassionate, we will always put ourselves first because we have to survive. And if that means making a mistake in my vote or maybe putting my trust in the wrong person like I did, then that's what it means. I will always put the betterment of my family and vote in ways that I think will help my family above anyone else.
Here's the problem with voting for your self-interest. I understand Maslow's hierarchy of needs. When you're on the bottom and none of your needs are fulfilled, you can only think of yourself. But here's the problem with that, is you voted for your self-interest. So did everybody else in the Republican Party. Think about that for a minute. You voted for your self-interest, but you don't have anything. Like, you don't have anything. Like, that's what it is. But other people, rich people, they have a lot. So of course they're going to vote for their self-interest because they have something. You don't. You need the tribe, right? The socialized healthcare, the socialized dental care, schools, firefighters, police officers, all socialized systems. Is it clicking yet? You voted against the tribe. You know, humans didn't make it on their own. We always existed in a tribe, taking care of each other. You could only take care of yourself if you have something. And you don't have shit.
You know, the thing that I find kind of interesting is over the last year and a half, Donald Trump has gotten really, really rich. I mean, in just a year and a half, he's made over $2 billion. I mean, he is raking in the money. And in the meantime, all of those people that supported him and voted for him, they're getting poorer. Yeah, all those people that, you know, tried to help him to the presidency and voted for him, they're broke. They're suffering. They can't make ends meet. And Republicans took away a lot of the benefits they had. Yeah, I mean, their food stamps and cut all kinds of programs and health care and everything. I mean, here these people are suffering. The people that voted for Trump, they are broke and suffering. And he is raking in the billions. And he could care less. And I just find it interesting that all those people that were so behind him and voted for him, they're broke and they're suffering. Meanwhile, he's taking in billions of dollars and laughing at them all the way to the bank. Suckers.
Ah, what a beautiful morning. So grateful that Trump got in office. Life is going to be so much easier again.
A few moments later.
So I just got the quote from the dentist in Mexico I've been looking to go see because, no offense to my current dentist in the United States, I love him. He does a really great job. And I wish I could go to him. I just can't afford dental care in the United States.
Own the libs. Are you winning yet? No, because you played yourself. These are the females who lack the spine and the courage to step into a private voting booth and vote to safeguard their own rights as women. They're so weak that they actively participate in their own downfall, allowing men to use them as tools to strip away their own rights and help strip away the rights of us all as women. This is what happens when you're gullible enough to fall for the conservative patriarchal illusion of a traditional family, where the man is supposed to be the leader, but in reality, that so-called provider is a failure, leaving you, his wife, so financially helpless that you are forced to rely on the very people that y'all demonize and cheer to be deported just to survive. Now look at you crossing the border into Mexico. Yes, the same Mexico you clutch your pearls over just to be able to afford health care. You're out here bragging about voting for Trump, yet you can't even afford to put America first under Trump. You're out here fighting for white supremacy, but white supremacy ain't fighting for you. Make it make sense. And the best part, this is just a warm-up, so buckle up because the real struggle hasn't even started yet.
This woman tagged the president and Fox News in this video with a plea for help.
My daughter's father has been in America for almost 10 years. He has done everything the right way, trying to come here from Venezuela with his mom. He graduated high school here. He goes to college. He's always worked. He pays taxes. He's never committed a crime. And yet, they are being denied citizenship here in America, and they are at risk of being deported.
And this is what people meant when they said that when you're voting that way, all immigrants were at risk. It doesn't matter if you were a model citizen, doesn't matter if you were a CEO of a company, if you were a police officer, if you contributed to society, it didn't matter. And the worst part about this is her daughter is 3 years old, assuming she's born in America, but now is at risk for deportation just because of the times of America. But to tag the president, he don't care.
He voted for Donald Trump. She supported Donald Trump, and now she sits in an ICE detainment center. This is the breaking news story of Camilla and Bradley. She is an immigrant from Peru. He happens to be a legal U.S. citizen. They got married. They've been married for 2 years. They are working on her paperwork for her to become a legal permanent resident. She works on a W-2. Okay, so she's going through all the proper channels to become a citizen here. And she's still got, or I guess she's not deported, she's detained awaiting deportation. So he didn't know this was going to happen to him. Do you, as the viewer, a liberal viewer, did you know it was going to happen to him? We can have a whole fucking Dora moment here, because that's how incompetent these people seem to be. You said we were fear-mongering, that it would never happen. Now that it has come knocking at your door, literally, you're sitting there and regretting your vote. You stated you knew it was going to go down, but you didn't know it was going to go down like this. We all knew. You ignored it. FAFO. You guys both supported Donald Trump. I got no sympathy here.
Welcome to another episode of FAFO, where I bring you stories of MAGA voters that have entered the find out phase of their vote. Christina wrote the following on her Facebook with some misspelled words. Rump has a lot of nerve celebrating 250 years of freedom when he is ushering in the New World Order. I cannot believe that I voted for this POS, treasonous, traitor, pet protector, and putting another nation before America kinda scum 3 times. God forgive me for ever voting for such an evil so-called man.
Interesting. Most of the videos that I'm seeing that MAGA are regretting their vote, they are only regretting because life has become harder than they expected. Others are worried about groceries. Others are worried about healthcare. Others jobs. Others immigration policies and government programs. I think they thought that Trump's policies would only impact the people they didn't like, but policies do not discriminate. Once implemented, they affect everybody, Policies do not check whether someone attended a rally, wore a MAGA hat, or even voted for Trump. Every election has consequences, no matter which party wins, and votes are powerful because they shape the policies that affect our daily lives. That's why people should pay close attention before voting. Elections are not about cheering a team. They are about choosing the direction of a country, And again, don't just be selfish to only think about yourself. Have empathy for others, because a person impacted could be your neighbor, could be your friend, could be your relative, or even your co-worker. Ask what a policy will mean for the people who are different from me, what it will mean for the country 5 or 10 years from now, because presidents, they come and go and laws change. Educate yourself enough about what the proposed policies will mean for different communities and not just blind loyalty to any politician or any political movement. So thank you so much for tuning in. I do appreciate your support. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.